If you're hearing this story right now, don't scroll, because what you're about to discover will shake your heart. Imagine being born into a life where you have everything, wealth, comfort, protection, yet you live in complete darkness. Now imagine the truth, that the very people trusted to heal you, the ones sworn to protect life, are the ones keeping you blind, for money. This is the story of a millionaire's son who lived years in darkness, until a poor girl with nothing but courage uncovered the truth that changed everything. Stick with me till the end, because what happens will make you believe in hope again. And if stories like this move your heart, don't forget to like this video and subscribe, because kindness and truth deserve to be seen. Ethan Williams was born into one of the richest families in the city. His father, Richard Williams, owned hospitals, pharmaceutical companies, and luxury estates across the country. The Williams name meant power and prestige. Yet, behind all the gold and glass, their home was filled with sorrow. Ethan, their only child, had been blind since the age of 6. The doctors said it was a rare genetic condition, irreversible, untreatable. Richard and his wife, Clara, had taken Ethan everywhere, from the most advanced hospitals in London to experimental clinics in Switzerland, but every doctor gave the same hopeless answer. Over the years, they learned to accept it, pouring their money into making Ethan's life comfortable. He had tutors, assistants, and the latest voice-controlled technology. But even surrounded by luxury, Ethan felt trapped. He couldn't see the sunlight through the curtains of his mansion. He couldn't see the faces of people who spoke to him, only their words. Still, he smiled. He had grown kind and thoughtful, a gentle young man of 21 with a heart bigger than his fortune. Meanwhile, in a small village on the outskirts of the city lived a girl named Lily. She was 19, the daughter of a farmer who had passed away years ago. Her mother worked as a maid in the city hospital, and Lily often helped her after school. She was poor, yes, but she carried an unbreakable spirit, the kind of hope that never dies, no matter how harsh life gets. One day, fate pulled their worlds together. Richard had donated a large sum to the city hospital and often visited to check on the staff. Ethan sometimes accompanied him to pass time, though he didn't like the pitying looks people gave him. On that day, as Ethan waited in the hospital garden with his walking cane, a soft voice spoke behind him. "Do you need help finding the bench?" He turned toward the voice. "I'm okay, thank you." But the girl didn't walk away. "I know you don't like help, but the bench is wet from the rain. You'll get your clothes dirty." He smiled faintly. "Then I suppose you saved me from an awkward moment." "Thank you, Lily," she said. "My name's Lily." That was the beginning. Ethan and Lily began talking every time he came with his father. Unlike others, Lily didn't treat him like a fragile child. She laughed with him, argued with him, made him feel seen, even though he couldn't see her. Over time, they grew close. Ethan loved her curiosity, her simplicity, and her courage. Lily admired his humility and how he never complained about his blindness. But behind Lily's smiles was worry. She had overheard something at the hospital that kept her awake at night. One evening, while cleaning near the research wing, Lily accidentally entered a restricted room. She heard 2 senior doctors talking, their voices cold and calculating. "If the Williams boy regains his sight, we lose our funding," one said. "The father's donations have kept this hospital running for years. As long as his son stays blind, the grants and trials continue. We can't risk fixing him." Lily froze. Her heart pounded. She peeked inside and saw the doctors looking over Ethan's medical files, detailed reports, secret correspondence, and notes about withheld treatment. They had known all along that Ethan's blindness wasn't irreversible. A simple but expensive surgery, performed years ago, could have restored his sight. But the doctors had lied, because keeping the billionaire's son blind meant a steady flow of research money, prestige, and control. Lily couldn't believe it. She spent the night trembling, replaying the conversation in her head. The next day, she met Ethan in the hospital garden, but this time she couldn't look him in the eyes. "Lily, what's wrong?" Ethan asked gently. I heard something," she whispered. "Something terrible about your doctors." He frowned. "What do you mean?" She hesitated, afraid no one would believe her. But she told him everything, every word she had overheard. Ethan didn't react. He sat silently, gripping his cane. For years, he had trusted those doctors with his life. The thought that they might have used him for profit felt like being betrayed by family. "Do you have proof?" he finally asked. "I can get it," Lily said. "If you trust me." That night, she sneaked back into the hospital. She used her mother's cleaning ID card to enter the restricted room again. Her hands shook as she took photos of documents with her old phone, files showing the surgery recommendation that had been deliberately hidden, the falsified test results, the forged signatures. But as she was about to leave, the head doctor caught her. "What are you doing here?" he demanded. Lily tried to run, but he grabbed her wrist. "You have no idea what you're getting into. Walk away, or you'll lose everything." She managed to escape and ran straight to Ethan's house, drenched and trembling. Richard opened the door, shocked to see the poor girl standing there in the rain, begging to speak to his son. She handed Ethan the phone. "These are the proofs," she cried. "They lied to you." At first, Richard thought it was nonsense, but when he saw the hospital's internal memos and emails, his face turned pale. He realized everything: years of false reports, unnecessary treatments, and donations made under deceit. The same doctors he had trusted, the same men who had attended family dinners, had robbed his son of a normal life. Rage filled his heart, but before anything, he turned to Ethan. "Son. I promise you, we'll fix this. You'll see again. You deserve the world." Ethan reached for Lily's hand. "I already see, Father. Maybe not with my eyes, but with my heart. Because of her." The next day, Richard launched a full investigation. The doctors were arrested for medical fraud and malpractice. The truth made headlines: doctors exploit billionaire's son for profit. The public was outraged. Ethan became a symbol of courage and hope. But the story didn't end there. Richard arranged for Ethan's surgery abroad with one of the most trusted specialists. Lily stayed by his side every step of the way. The night before the operation, Ethan sat quietly in the hospital bed, holding Lily's hand. "If this works," he said softly, "the first face I want to see is yours." Lily smiled through tears. "Then I'll be right here." The operation lasted 6 hours. Richard and Lily waited outside, hearts pounding with every passing minute. Finally, the surgeon stepped out, smiling. "It's a success," he said. When Ethan woke up, the world was brighter than he ever imagined. He blinked through tears as his blurry vision focused, and there she was. Lily. Her eyes filled with joy, her face glowing with relief. "So this is you," he whispered, smiling. "Even more beautiful than I imagined." Lily laughed, covering her mouth as tears rolled down. Months passed, and Ethan recovered fully. He dedicated his life to exposing medical corruption and funding hospitals for the poor. He made Lily the head of his new foundation, the Vision of Hope, which provided free eye surgeries for those who couldn't afford them. One evening, during a press event, a reporter asked Ethan what changed his life the most. He looked at Lily and said, "Money blinded my world. But a girl with nothing showed me what truth looks like. I was born into light but lived in darkness. She was born in struggle but carried light in her heart. Together, we found real vision." The audience rose to their feet, clapping as Ethan held Lily's hand. And so, the millionaire's son who had lived in darkness found his light, not through wealth, but through truth, courage, and love.